The key takeaways from this year's natcat Sigma are really, if we look at the overall level of insured losses in 2024, which was 137 billion, and that confirms the upward trend that we've seen in the last few years, where the insured losses have been growing in line with this 5 to 7% a year. If that trend continues, we'd see a number of around 145 billion for 2025. In 2024, the main drivers of the losses were the two hurricanes we saw in the Gulf of Mexico, Hurricanes Helena and Milton, and then we also saw a large number of secondary perils driven by severe convective storms across the US. If you look at Europe, it was also a picture of secondary perils driving the insured losses in 2024, much of that coming from flood. In Europe, there were 4 multi-billion-dollar flood events in 2024, which is the highest level that we've seen since 2021. The flood losses in Germany and flood losses in Valencia in Spain amounted to some 9 billion of insured losses, which is about half of the total insured flood losses in the full year. In the UK, 2024 was characterised by a large number of storm events, and they were the major driver of the economic losses in the year, which amounted to 0.8 billion. It started the year in 2024 with Storm Henk in January 24, and then we had a quieter period and then a number of events in the latter half of the year in November and December 2024. And then in 2025, we had 2 large storm events, and these 2 events demonstrate the clustering of storms that we've seen in the past, and that was emphasised again in January 2025. So what does this mean for the UK? So I think the data in 2024 confirms that the severity of natural catastrophes is continuing. That trend hasn't slowed down, it's become the new normal, as we see from the data in 2024. We also see from the data in 2024 that there's a clustering of storm events. We saw that in the second half of the year, so multiple storms occurring in a similar period of time or very close to each other is a trend that we've seen in the data. As Europe is the fastest warming continent in the world, we expect to see more severe events. And for example, in the UK, we would expect to see more flood-related events as a result of the warming climate that we're seeing. In this time, it's really important that there's collective action across the industry. And Swiss Re have been calling for that action with other insurers, with government, with regulators, to really come together and address the challenges that we see ahead of us. Effective prevention and adaptation is critical as we look forward in this environment. So what does all this mean for our clients? I think 3 things come to mind. Firstly, in the UK, we have a big focus on addressing the housing shortage in the UK. The government's committed to build 1.5 million homes by 2029. It's incredibly important that we build those homes in the right places. We don't want to build those homes in flood-prone areas. So having a strong voice in that discussion with government about where we build our homes is really important. Second important topic is the success that we have in the UK with Flood Re. Flood Re has made flood insurance more accessible and affordable for many thousands of people around the UK. And with flood becoming a more important risk, the role of Flood Re becomes even more important, and we need a long-term sustainable solution for Flood Re in the UK. And thirdly, it's about modelling, and Swiss Re's integration of Fathom into CatNet provides insights about current and future climate scenarios and the impact they will have in the UK and other parts of the world. Modelling also helps to understand the accumulation risk around the world, so we can understand where exposures are located and where we can allocate capital and resources in the most efficient way.